Hello and welcome. This is my video on the rules of evidence, which is basically the stuff you use in a real trial or in a mock trial in order to do those things called objections, which I'm sure you've all heard of or seen in a movie before. And essentially, the rules of evidence are a mechanism for controlling the proceedings in a trial. So, if you have excellent knowledge and control of the rules of evidence, you can assert a degree of control over the proceedings in a trial. You can do this by defeating objections and admitting damaging evidence against the opposing team. You can also destroy direct examinations by excluding evidence the opposing side wants to admit. So the list of objections corresponds with specific rules of evidence. And one way to conceptualize these rules of evidence is like a series of hurdles, as I've seen written here. So in order for a given piece of evidence to enter the record, it must leap over a series of hurdles. And if it can leap over all of the hurdles, relevance, hearsay, etc., then it can enter the record. However, if it cannot overcome a particular hurdle, then it cannot be admitted into the record. So just keep this sort of extended metaphor in mind as we go through the objections, and I think it'll help with your understanding of the rules of evidence that we're about to discuss. So essentially, objections are classified into two categories. You have objections to the substance of a question and objections to the form of a question. And these include relevance, lack of personal knowledge, improper opinion, hearsay, improper character evidence, cumulative, more prejudicial than probative, calls for a narrative answer, lack of foundation, calls for speculation, and beyond the scope of a direct or cross-examination. Those are the objections to the substance of a question, which is actually to what the question is asking. Now, there are also objections which are to the form of a question. These you will see less often, either because in actual trials, attorneys will not be making these form mistakes, or because they're just not seen as often. So you have leading, asked and answered, a compound question, lack of foundation, vague, and argumentative. So those are the general rules of evidence that we're going to go over in these videos, and I hope they help you a lot, and we'll get started.